Hi, hello, vanakkam, namaskaram. Welcome to the first episode of Chai with Riddhi. I'm your host, Riddhima. This is a fun talk show where we get to know more about people with different dreams and passions from different parts of the world. And so, without any further delay, let's get into our first guest. Our first guest is a software developer at the General Motors by profession, but a Bharatanatyam dancer by passion. She hails from Arizona, USA. Let's welcome her. Hi, Mridula. Welcome to the first episode of Chai with Riddhi.
Hi, Riddhi. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here today.
So, Miruthula, for our viewers, why don't you tell us more about yourself, your background, and what made your passion in dance grow to such an extent?
Namaskaram, everyone. My name is Miruthula, like Riddhi said. I live in Arizona, and I'm a software engineer by profession and Bharatanatyam dancer by passion. Um, my passion for dance started from a very young age. Before I even knew what Bharatanatyam was, I used to just dance randomly in front of the TV. And my mom thought that I had some interest in it um, innately. So she had put me in a Bharatanatyam class. But at that time, I was more into music than dance. And I didn't know it will flip and dance will be like the reason for my existence in future. But yeah, so from a young age, I was into dance. And over time, it started to just empower into me. Like after my Arangetram, especially in 2014, I felt a huge impact that dance had on me. It was my outlet for everything, and it was constant support. Like whenever I couldn't really, um, you know, when I didn't really know what to do in times of trouble, it was dance that came to me in form of projects or just choreography or something like that. That would be my distraction in a way, and I would feel much more positive after that experience. So for sure, without dance, I don't know what I would do with my life right now. So that is what dance means to me now.
You mentioned about you had interest in singing. So, do you still sing, or do you have any passion along with dance that you've taken up for singing?
I did take Carnatic music classes for 8 years or so,
Hmm.
but I'm not a singer. I mean, I sing bhajans and I sing small songs here and there, but like I'm not completely into music right now. But
Right.
love to listen to music.
You mentioned about you sing bhajans. Why don't you just sing maybe like four lines?
Oh, okay, this was uncalled for. Okay. Mm. Krishna Krishna मन मोहना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना मेघश्यामा मधुसूदना मेघश्यामा मधुसूदना राधाकान्ताय दूर्नन्दना राधाकान्ताय दूर्नन्दना राधाकान्ताय दूर्नन्दना राधाकान्ताय दूर्नन्दना.
Really amazing. That was very good. So,
Thank you.
speaking more about passion, you did mention to me earlier about getting an appreciation from the 44th president, the US President, Mr. Obama. So it would be great if you could speak more about it. And what was the reason for you to get that appreciation from him?
So in my high school days, probably 8, 9 years back, I had started a club called Water for All. Um, and the main intention for that was I had gone to India that past summer and Kuladevam Koil, right? We visited as a family, our family temple, and it is in a village past Madurai, near Pallatur. It's a very gram village type place. And I had seen like women carrying like buckets of water on their head from a pond to their houses. And when I saw the pond, it was just we wouldn't drink that water. Like when we see that, you can tell it's not hygienic, and I felt really bad, and I really wanted to do something. So when I came back, me and my friends, we talked about the situation, and I formed this club called Water for All. So through that, we were able to build two wells, one in South India and one in like East Africa. And now that well supports around 2,000 people in both places with clean water every day. Till now, I get appreciation from that organization who went and built there, and it's just very heartwarming. The least we can do, we cannot like physically go there and build the wells, but at least we can fund them, right? So for that, I had gotten lots of appreciation from not only like local Arizona organizations, but like internationally, and then Obama, President Obama as well. So he had given a certificate with his signature and just appreciating my works there. Yeah, it's a very like I said, a heart touching moment. Like all the small kids drinking water and the pictures that they had given us, it's truly heartwarming. Yeah.
That's definitely a great deed of work that you've done. So, talking more about that, do you still continue with that particular organization? Do you still continue with the project, or is it something that you're looking forward to do in the future?
I'm not continuing it anymore. After I came out of high school, there was another president who had come in then. So I'm pretty sure it's still going on there, but I'm not part of it now. But I would love to come back to it as soon as I would love to come back to it sometime in the future.
Sure, that's very nice of you. Um, maybe one last question about it. Do you still keep in touch with people in that club and organization?
Yes, I do. So the vice president, at that time when I was there, her sister is now part of that club.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
great.
still connection going on. So I still get to hear what they're doing, and it's really good to hear that it's still going on.
So that was a very beautiful idea. That was a very beautiful cause. Hoping that we get to know more, or we get to listen to more about what you do in the future. Coming back to your dreams and your goals, your passion. Um, what are your future dreams and goals?
Um, if you had asked me this like 3 years back, I would have given a list to you, like all these I want to accomplish. But now it has really condensed as you go through life, you understand that everything's not possible. So I have a few in mind. Um, so basically, one thing I'm very strong about is our Indian culture. And it's scary to think that after this generation, not most of our traditions, our panpala, all that stuff might get lost. And I see that with my generation people as well, like even speaking in Tamil, basic things, right? It's already vanishing, and that really scares me. And so I want to be a strong advocate for that. If you think about it, like our grandpa, my mom learns from my grandpa. She takes only 50% of what he has done. Okay, I will take only 50% of what my mom does.
Sure.
If I don't do anything, it's gone from this generation. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I want to make sure that's one of my main things, goals in life, to make sure our tradition, Indian Tamil tradition, does not die. So I'll do whatever through dance, especially. There's a lot you can do. The Puranas, Itihasas, the stories, the lessons we teach in the dance choreographies, they come in real life too. So through that, I would like to keep that living. Yeah. So I teach lokas as well, right? So that's another medium I keep the this generation kids engaged, and I hope to do more and more so this doesn't die off. It's something really I care about. So that's one. Another goal in accordance to dance, I would say I do want to have like a school at some point, but at this moment in time, I want to be a performer. I do teach, but I'm mainly looking towards performing.
So before we get into any further questions, we'll get into a small game segment.
Okay.
So let's get into the game segment. So
Okay.
basically, you have different emotions, uh, different variations on the wheel, and whichever
Mm-hmm.
falls on, you basically enact it. Anger.
Anger. Okay, so I'll do a segment where Krishna, he's eating sand, and Yashoda comes and tells, "Open your mouth. What are you eating sand in?" And then she sees the whole world. So
Oh,
I'll show both anger and wonder as well. Okay,
perfect.
Achirya,
Yes, go ahead.
both. Okay. Okay.
Dance.
Oh no,
This I think it should
dance.
be easy for you.
Okay. Can you guys see? Okay.
Yeah, can see that.
Tat
Yep.
teyum tat tam kitataka tat teyum tat tam kitataka tam dit tam kitataka tat te kitataka tam dit tam kitataka tat te.
So now coming back to our discussion, you mentioned about starting a school sometime in future, but you want to be a performer now. Um, do you have like any dance projects that are there on your plate for the moment?
Um, so once this pandemic started, no, like all artists, we didn't know what to do. It's like they have cut the main part of, our living. And but soon enough, we started to figure out ways to make what used to be there not there, but like improvise on it. So the online platform was a huge help. Like I have probably have done at least 5 6 concerts online, and I've taken so many workshops, and we teach now online too. So in this process we got to meet a lot of like-minded artists. So collaboration started to happen all around the world, and I do currently have at least 3 collabs I'm working on with someone in India now, and another person in like Europe, and it's just everywhere. And I think it's a great way to keep us engaged and not lose the touch we used to have in life, right? So yeah, I do have few coming, and you can see them soon if you follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Yes.
That's wonderful. I know with the pandemic, it's become really hard with this whole online thing and online classes. How do you manage that?
Okay, so nothing can be equal to in-person classes,
Yeah.
especially with dance. Um, for me, for like advanced students, even for us learning from our teacher on Zoom, it's not it's not the same. Like even if we understand what she's saying and everything is like we can do it, the fact that she's in person right there, correcting our postures, there's a big gap there, right?
It's
So
authenticity.
yeah, it's difficult. Like if you say something once, you might have to repeat 3 4 5 times even for them to actually comprehend. But in person you can show them and you can actually correct them, right? So it is difficult. And I'm teaching online now too, and they're little kids. It's difficult, but I think they're starting to get the hang of it because we've been repetitively doing it, right? It's not the best way to teach or learn, but it's what we got now and we're using the best of it. So yeah.
You mentioned about teaching kids. I know it's not easy at all to do it on Zoom. So how often do you have to repeat your steps, or how often do you repeat the same thing in different classes? How does that work?
So we would spend, for instance, at least one like 30 minutes on a certain step. Okay, they would have gotten perfectly, but the end of the class, the next class when we come again, we might have to like say the same mistakes again, and then they'll have to fix it. So even though they got it during the class, the practice time or like that time it takes for them to actually understand, it's not there. So you have to be pretty patient while teaching. But my guru was patient with me, so I'll be patient with my students.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You wanted to talk about your general motive with regards to passion, dreams, goals, and everything.
So yes, I am a full-time software engineer at General Motors. But evenings I totally dedicate to my passion, and I make sure I work only 9 to 5 in my work schedule. Sometimes it gets a little on and off, like I have to work a little bit more, but I try to just cut it off at 5. So after 5, I can come back to my passion. But I am passionate about my work as well. Um, I can be, I can't be as creative in my engineering aspects as dance, but it's somewhere I can keep learning, and that keeps pushing me because there's always something to learn when it comes to technology, and I like that aspect of it. It keeps me going.
I also wanted to ask for someone who's been growing in the US. You weren't born in the US. You were born in India.
No,
You were brought up in the US. Like you've lived your entire life in your US. How is it for you to get into this whole dancing industry? I mean, I'm sure it would have been definitely difficult for you for people to recognize you because when you're in India, it's a different situation. People can easily recognize you. People can easily understand your dreams and goals and push you accordingly. But how difficult
right.
are you being in the US?
Here, I would just say God has been really, really like grateful to me here, because it is very difficult when you're taking like an Indian art form, for instance, that too not where it was originated, but somewhere else. You need the proper guidance, you need the proper support, and God has like given me so much of that that I don't even feel the fact that I'm losing something being in the US. So may it be my guru, may it be my parents, or everything that has everyone I meet, especially like through dance, I've met so many people who are now the pillars of my life through dance. So I'm so thankful for that. And it is difficult because in India, if I were there right now, I would have gotten many more opportunities than what I'm here, maybe
Yes,
more recognition too. But at the same time, there's a lot of like competition too, right? In
yeah,
India, everyone does everything.
correct.
So I think I'm taking the best out of it. I'm thinking being here, being able to sustain the art form, and like getting my name here and there. Some people are recognizing me. That's enough for now.
That's
So,
wonderful.
but really, really thankful for all that has been given to me.
When it comes to programs and collaborations you were talking about, um, was it all online or did you manage to go to a particular place and have a particular show or something like that?
Um, this pandemic period, most of my collabs has been like they would shoot their video part and give it to me. I'll shoot my part and we'll stitch it together. But that's basically what has happened. But once this, Corona goes away a bit, I'm really, really hoping we can get back to the normal collabs and like meeting each person and talking. And I really miss that aspect of it. So yeah, most of it has been just stitching it together, editing and all that.
If you were given an acting opportunity, would be happy to take it, or would you be satisfied with continuing with your dance passion?
Many people have actually asked me to go act. Um, it's actually my bucket list. I want to act in at least one movie, not just any movie, but like something centered with the arts or dance. I do want to act at least once. I'm not really too into cinema. I mean, I watch cinema and everything, but like just to try something out, I want to try acting as well. I do TikToks, but nothing too serious. So if life does throw that at me, I might consider it.
Wonderful. That's great. We quickly get into a rapid fire section now.
Okay.
So this rapid fire is basically 6 questions, and I will give you 5 seconds to answer these questions. So you need to be fast. Also, if you do not answer within 5 seconds, remember the 5 shot glasses I told you? You would drink one from it.
Yes.
I love the glass.
And this is since it's Corona time, I have Kabasura Kudineer in all of these.
Perfect. Couldn't ask for anything more bitter and so good to taste. Perfect. Okay. So the first question is, if a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be and which actors would play you? So,
A dancer, obviously. So Shobana or
fine.
Amala.
And what genre would it be?
Oh, I mean, it's a biography, right? Autobiography. So
Yeah, it
um,
depends. Your biography could be rom-com or action thriller,
I guess it's everything.
a
There's
mix,
everything in it.
good mix.
A mix. Yeah.
Okay. What is one of your weird quirks? 5,
TikTok. Is that
4.
weird?
Not really.
No?
3,
Weird.
2,
I don't know what that means.
1. Go for a shot.
What? Okay. What does that mean? Weird
um,
words.
it's TikTok is not weird. TikTok is something that almost everyone does now.
Okay. All right.
That's a
Okay, it's healthy.
third question is, if you could talk in your sleep, what would you say? That
I mumble in my sleep. Like I talk about like I don't know. I mean, sometimes I mumble, but like it's about like scary stuff. So
fair enough. Okay, what would you do if you were given 15 minutes of fame? 5.
as a fame, use it to my dance, not to me, more to the towards the art form.
Okay. Next question is, what celebrity annoys you the most? 5.
No one annoys me. Everyone is good in their own sense, right?
Uh-huh. 3,
Annoys me. Okay,
2.
Power Stars, Power Star. She was the Tamil comedian person.
Oh, okay. Weapon of choice.
Tears.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Miru. So coming back to our question and answer session, our discussion session. Um,
Mhm.
when you first conveyed to your parents about your passion in dance and you wanted to, you have a studio at home, don't you?
Mhm.
What was your first reaction? How did they react to this particular idea?
They are
You
very
don't have
supportive.
a background in, like your family doesn't have a background in dance or singing, right?
My mom actually, when she was little, she did dance and sing and everything, but she left it as
She never
time went
continued
on.
that. Yeah. Okay.
She never continued after marriage. Um, but they're very, very supportive. Um, Literally, the upstairs portion of our house is just mine. So this room is my office room. I have another room that I have a studio with green screen and lights and everything in the loft. I literally just took over the house. So they're very supportive in that matter. And if I needed like a camera or lighting or anything, they would never like even think twice of buying it for me. So very supportive in that sense, and I'm really, really thankful for that.
Given an opportunity now, since you work as a software developer, what if you were to take dance as a degree? What would be
I've actually thought about that, and I might be trying to do a doctorate in dance sometime in the future.
okay?
Looking for opportunities. The only thing is, it's hard to find degrees in Bharatanatyam in the US. And like if I go to India, obviously I can work on that, but
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
looking for opportunities here. So hopefully if something clicks, I will take
Yeah,
that
that's
path.
definitely a tough task. We're talking about Indian culture and how you want to put it out there for the people for the coming generations. Probably you could talk more about it.
Um, like what I would do, or
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, like first thing is language. Make sure people are speaking their mother tongue in their homes. That itself is a question mark here. People adapt to
definitely.
English. Mother tongue is the first thing. And just trying to continue the small traditions of pujas or any festivals that come up, doing it small in your house, right? Small things we can do like that. And something my mom does that really makes me happy is like she talks to my grandma when a festival comes, and she just makes sure you have to do all this, right? And she makes a list and makes sure she actually does that, right? So while we have those resources like our grandparents and parents and everything, make sure like we also try to follow at least 25% of that, right? So small things like that. um Clothes, I love saris. That's a like in my
Uh,
wardrobe, not my wardrobe, I steal from my mom, but I love saris. I love the jewelry, the accessories, and that too, right? It's a big part of our tradition. um Especially bindis, right? We're supposed to wear kumkum, not sticker putters. I want to slowly transition into that, stop wearing sticker put and like trying to
where the
wear
actual
kumkum instead.
kumkum, yeah.
Yeah, that has more meaning, no? So small things like that, I think if we start doing that, our children will watch us. Just how I watched my mom and I'm learning, they will watch us, and the tradition will keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it's more of a trend now where once people move away from India, a lot of them try to adapt to the Western culture and they kind of forget that their own roots where they come from. So the whole,
Right. It's very saddening, actually.
it is definitely,
But even in India now, I feel things are becoming a little more westernized, and that's
yes,
that's scary too. Like if that the place where everything originates also changes, then what can we do, right?
correct.
Some places do keep it very strong, so
Yes,
I'm hopeful for those places that are trying to continue it, but hopefully it doesn't affect more people who are becoming westernized.
that's true. That's
It's
true.
not a bad thing, but we should be proud of our tradition. We should be proud of where we come from. So
Definitely, definitely. I mean, a lot of them, I've seen this a lot of people where, again, when they move away from India, they hesitate to speak in their own mother tongue or in their own language that they've been born, that they've been living through all these years. And it's pretty sad to see that as well. I mean, I understand
actually,
blend in to the Western culture, but
yeah. When I first came to the US, right, I was 4.5 or so. We come to New Jersey then. My dad got a job there. I had such a hard time blending in. I didn't know English. So I would speak in Tamil at home and I wouldn't know how to communicate with those people. For that sake, I started learning English. Obviously, I cannot survive here without
right,
knowing
yeah,
English.
for sure.
But one thing we did at home was we never talked in English. It wasn't a rule. It just didn't come naturally to any of us. Even when we scream at each other, it comes in Tamil. We
Um,
feel Tamil has it has a better effect when we're screaming even too. So that's one thing to do. Like if you talk your mother tongue at home, you don't really have to worry that you'll forget it or you won't learn it.
Definitely, definitely. We've come to the end of Chai with Riddhi. Thank you so much, Miru, for joining my very first show, my very first episode. I'm so happy.
I'm honored. Thank you so much. It was a very fun time, and I can't wait to see all the episodes that are going to come in the future. And wishing you the
Thank
very
you
best.
so much, Miru. Wishing you all the best for all your projects that's coming. I'm definitely following you on all social media possible. That much I know. But thank you so much for coming and thank you for making this episode very, very special. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Riddhi.
you. Thank you so much for sitting through this first episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much, guys.